How's it going, troops? Jordan here, back again with another Titanfall 2 video, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down the Titanfall 2 multiplayer reveal trailer. I've been watching it back so many times. It looks absolutely epic. I'm so excited to actually start playing Titanfall 2 when it releases in October. The only reason why I haven't had this video out sooner was because of E3 going on, and I was up late at night watching the conferences. So obviously if I'm up late at night I have to go and get some sleep like as soon as it finishes, so I haven't really had time to try and edit properly and make a video. But now I do have the time because E3 is pretty much over with now. All the major conferences are over, they've been done and dusted. So without further ado, let's get into this breakdown. Now this is a quite lengthy breakdown. I literally went through frame by frame just to see if there's anything interesting that might be worthy of putting in the video, and there was quite a lot of things to talk about. So the trailer starts off with your pilot in a dropship about to jump out of it and get ready to get into battle. Something that I thought was amazing and just great in Titanfall, and I'm happy that it is back within Titanfall 2. And once your pilot actually jumps out and lands on the ground, the first thing you'll notice is how refined and colourful the hood is now. If you look back in the first Titanfall game, the hood was very futuristic and high-tech looking, and there wasn't that much colour to it, so it didn't really look that interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was quite cool, and I like the the design of it, but it wasn't anything, I don't know, outstanding or popping out. Whereas here, the hood's a lot more colourful, there's colours, so you know exactly what's what, and I very much quite like it. The minimap is no longer a curved square anymore with quadrants. It's now an oval shape with also more detail on the minimap shaded in. Honestly, when I first saw the minimap, it looked like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, I'm not even gonna lie. And even now when I still look at it, I keep thinking of that San Andreas minimap. It is quite funny. Also, the minimap now has a 6th sense kind of like notification to let you know when you're near enemy pilots or titans. Although something tells me this might be some sort of new pilot kit in the game. The Titan build meter is now in the bottom left as opposed to the bottom right in Titanfall 2. And also it shows off a lot more information when building the Titan. You can also see on the hood that the tactical ability and the ordnance slot are now in the bottom left too, rather than spread across the bottom section of the hood. And also again, they have colour now rather than a futuristic outline of what your tactical slot is or your ordnance slot. There is colour to it now, so you can definitely tell which is which. The tactical ability that we see here, it looks like the grappling hook that we'll actually get to see in play later on. And if we take a look in the ordnance slot, there is some sort of cloudy outline with a yellow lightning bolt in it, which could indicate some sort of electrical smoke grenade. Not only that though, but the hood also shows you what weapon you are indeed using, and we can also see the ammo count right next to it. The running animation that we see in Titanfall 2 is pretty much identical to the one that we saw in the original Titanfall game. We then see a Titan that drops from the sky, and we also get to see a cool look at a new multiplayer map. Now to me, this multiplayer map kind of reminds me of Colony from the original Titanfall game, but a lot more colourful in my opinion. And then if you look in the bottom left hand corner where our Titan build is, we see the shield mode that is in yellow go to an activated green, which possibly might mean that the Titan has just dropped in and the cooldown period is over and it's now ready and active on the battlefield. I quite like this because it does make it clear like what state your Titan is in. The pilot then uses his grappling hook ability to pull himself over the enemy Titan in order to get into his own, which I do find extremely badass. You can also see that the usage bar goes down as well, and there's also a level behind the icon that tells you how long you can use the grappling hook before it runs out, just like in Titanfall. We can also see in the kill feed a new weapon that is called the T203 Thermite Launcher. I don't know what this looks like, but it does sound quite cool. And then we can also see a brand new animation for when your pilot gets into your Titan, which in my opinion looks fucking cool. Just as we're about halfway through the animation, we get a glimpse of some pilot character customization, where this pilot appears to have some sort of stormtrooper-like helmet. When we get into the Titan, we see a new UI interface on the screen, where we have our Titan's health bar at the top. We have a new core ability that I spotted, apparently it's called the Flame Core. Speaking of cores, Titans in Titanfall 2 now have elemental cores, as at least I call them elemental cores, just from what the description of them are. And in total in Titanfall 2, there are indeed 6 Titan chassis. As of me writing down my notes, there were only 2 chassis that were announced and revealed, but now there has been a 3rd one. So we'll go through the initial 2 first, which are called Ion and Scorch. The old Titans in the original Titanfall game, like the Atlas and the Ogre, aren't in Titanfall 2, but instead have been evolved into what is known as the Ion, which is basically an upgraded Atlas, and the Scorch, which is apparently an upgraded Ogre. The Ion core is called Laser Core, and the Scorch core, like I said, is called the Flame Core, and as we're going to be seeing in play. Now, I mentioned that there was a 3rd Titan chassis that was revealed, and it was revealed, I believe, last night, and I only saw this announcement this morning. So the 3rd Titan chassis in Titanfall 2 is called Ronin, and Ronin is also known as the sword-wielding Titan. So yes, if you play as Ronin in the multiplayer, you get to swing around and hit people with this massive giant electrical sword. It looks absolutely badass. I've actually seen some gameplay of it from the Twitter account of Titanfall, and it just looks badass. Like, honestly, I can't wait to actually start chopping people up with this giant sword. It's just absolutely fucking cool. But if we go back to the trailer itself, we can see that our player has selected the Scorch Titan. If we look at our Titan abilities, then we can see what appears to be a shield with the fire ability. I don't know what that means. However, I think it might be some sort of counter to the Flame Core. So, you know, if you're playing a Scorch and you come across another enemy pilot that is using the Scorch Titan, then maybe you can kind of stop his fire from hurting you and damaging you. We also see another icon that might be some sort of burn card, although I'm not too sure. And once again, we have another icon with a flame on it, which again, I'm completely unsure what this is. We can also see a new Titan weapon that might be some sort of new laser rifle. In the next part, we see a pilot jump through a window with what could be either a single shot rifle or a shotgun, but either way, this weapon is actually called the Mastiff. Again, we can see a new ability that could be the grapple hook, or it could possibly be the radar pulse, followed by what looks to be like the new satchel charge, as we can see something that resembles the satchel charge a bit later on. A new addition to Titanfall 2's movement is the slide that allows for seamless motion and fluidity, and whilst we see the soldier sliding, we can see again in the kill feed that the Archer rocket launcher is returning back from Titanfall. In the next scene, we see again the Flame Core in action. We also see the fire shield icon, possibly what looks to be like a burn card, as well as the other flame icon, but also we can see what looks to be some sort of smoke icon with an indigo lightning bolt, which again could be electric smoke, I don't really know. In the next bit, we see the new and improved car SMG, which again was in Titanfall, and it has a new set of iron sights. Again, we can see that yellow pulse icon, as well as a new icon that again looks like a flame. We also see a pickup icon for another weapon called the Alternator that has the extended mag and speed reloader attachments on it. We also see again in the kill feed that the Kraber sniper from the original Titanfall game is returning in Titanfall 2. And then we see a new ability in play that is similar to the glitch from Black Ops 3, which personally I think it could possibly be annoying. I don't know, it all depends on how it's balanced, but I mean, seeing this kind of put me off a little bit because I thought, oh god, no. You know, the glitch is already annoying as it is in Black Ops 3, and you know, the fact that it's in Titanfall 2, please just please try and balance it if you're going to put it in the game. But moving on from that, we have also a new knifing / meleeing system that again looks quite cool. In the next scene, we see the Alternator submachine gun in action with a holographic looking sight on it. You'll also notice when your pilot actually aims down sight, you can see how your peripherals are blurred, which is quite interesting. But before he does that, he tosses out an indigo shuriken, and it seems to hold the enemy in the air for a few seconds, so maybe it's some sort of anti-gravity device that, you know, you can use as a trap for enemies. The next scene shows us a Titan reloading his weapon as he spots an enemy Ion Titan which is using its laser core, and then your Titan does some cool karate style moves to destroy it. Then we see a pilot toss out something that is like the pulse radar from Titanfall before throwing, again what I said earlier, a satchel charge and killing the enemy pilots. Then here we can see the fun use of the grapple hook again, and apparently the grapple hook is quite unique unlike in other games because you actually use the grapple hook based on momentum, so rather than pointing and shooting, you can actually use it to swing and kind of build momentum in order to get around the environment. The player here seems to be using the L-Star, which looks like a burst laser weapon, and also if you check again in the kill feed, you can see something that is called the Mozambique. In the next bit we see again a pilot using the alternator SMG with the holographic looking sight on it, and again if we take a look in the kill feed we can see a weapon that's called the double take, as well as seeing the slide again in action that helps the pilot build momentum and then he uppercuts this enemy that is in front of him. The next scene shows us some camo customization for our Titans, as this camo appears to be some sort of green woodland like camo. Now apparently according to the Game UK website, they actually have an option for a pre-order bonus for Titanfall 2, and it does confirm that there are Titan customizations, which are called war paint and nose art. So personally I believe that this green camo is a war paint of some kind. When the pilot gets in the Titan we have the splitter rifle in our hands with the description of drains energy to split the beam, increasing damage. The Titan here has his laser core ready to use in a sec, and also we see the return of the vortex shield as the defensive ability shown in blue. And as an enemy pilot tries attacking our Titan, its shoulder mounted laser beam locks on and fires, and apparently it's called a laser shot in the kill feed. The pilot then ejects out of his Titan, pulling out the alternator, and the description here says twin barrel SMG. Not only that though, but we can also see some sort of progression system for the alternator as we are at weapon level 1.09. The enemy pilot simultaneously ejects out of his Titan and your pilot launches his grapple hook at the enemy pilot, in which you then yank him towards you before karate kicking his arse to the ground. And yeah troops, that is the Titanfall 2 multiplayer trailer in a nutshell, going through bit by bit what I noticed. I mean there's probably some other things that I might have not noticed that you might have picked up on, and if you have then make sure to let me know down in the comment section below. Titanfall 2 launches October 28th 2016, and also a multiplayer tech test will be released very soon for the public to stress test the servers, have fun playing multiplayer, as well as trying to break the game as best as they can. So troops, or pilots, whichever you want to be called, hopefully you have enjoyed this breakdown video. If you did, then do give the video a thumbs up, I would appreciate it a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then make sure to do so for more Titanfall 2 content throughout the year. And until the next video, I thank you all for watching, stay tuned with me troops, or pilots, and I'll see you in game.